You and I need to chat. There's a problem with short form content that if it hasn't already changed the landscape of social media, it will. And one thing I want to say is I am not a hater of short form content. I love Instagram. I love YouTube Shorts. I love TikTok. I love short form content because I posted hundreds of videos and I've generated millions of views. However, there's a massive issue, and actually 4 issues that we're running into. I have 4 note cards here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 1 right here, as you can see, this is going to be the first issue we're going to talk about. Number 1, attention spans. There's an argument that's going around on social media that we have short attention spans. Instagram has ruined our attention spans, or Reels or TikToks have ruined our attention spans. I want to say this clearly. Have you ever watched a television show like Coco Melon, or I don't know, me growing up, I watched Caillou. I watched a lot of children's shows. If you ever watched a children's show, whether you're growing up or even now, they're always cutting to a different scene. So attention spans aren't anything new. If you watch these shows, they're cutting to a new clip every 2 to 3 seconds, a new shot, something new, like to stimulate a child's brain, because at the end of the day, they have to keep a child's attention. So from the get, attention spans are not inherently bad. Attention spans aren't inherently ruined. They're not anything that's wrong with them. I think a lot of people have the notion that attention spans are just getting ruined, especially with TikTok having been launched and Instagram, Reels, and YouTube Shorts now. And that leads me to then number 2. And number 2, as you can see here, is editing. Editing has become a massive issue within short form content, but also long form content right here on YouTube. One of the biggest issues I see on YouTube is over editing. Let me know if you've seen any of that in the comments below. If you've seen over editing or you just feel like it's just too much. And I think one of the biggest problems that isn't being talked about is viewer fatigue. I think a lot of people, when they're watching YouTube content, they're getting exhausted, they're getting tired, they're getting fatigued because there's all these different flashes coming up on the screen, there's all these different B-rolls, all this text, all this explosion, these graphics, everything. It's exhausting. And if you're watching this video, there's minimal to little to no editing on here, and it's deliberate, It is deliberate because I want to ensure that whatever I'm saying, which is going to lead me to what I'm going to say next, is the content. I don't want the B-roll or any other filler stuff or any other text to enhance the video if it doesn't actually do that. And that's something you need to pay attention to. Like I said, with editing, one of the biggest issues is overly edited videos. It's because the content itself isn't good. It's because the content coming from the person speaking it isn't quality content. And you're going to learn about this in number 4. Quality content will always win. If you have to over-edit it, if you have to dress it up more, if you have to put more pizzazz on it, I think you're ruining the video, to be quite honest. Some of the best pieces of content, some of the best videos that I've watched have been videos just like this, where I'm sitting, talking to you, there's nothing going on, no flashes, whatever. I literally have a water bottle and my phone right next to me. There's no other distractions, nothing else going on in the background to distract you, because I want the attention to be right on me so I don't lose your focus. And number 3, which we're gonna talk about shortly, is super important, so keep that in mind. We're also gonna touch on number 4. If you feel like you need to over-edit your videos, I would challenge you on this. Objectively look at your content. Is your actual content of what you're saying in the video good? Is it quality content? Is it something that you would enjoy watching? Is it something that you would consume? Because let's be honest, the person that's watching your video, they have to consume it. And not only they have to, but they get to. So it's a privilege for you to be able to post on YouTube, but it's also a privilege for someone to be able to watch your content. Are you putting out the best product, or are you just trying to dress it up to make it look good, but in reality, it's not good? Okay? Number 3. This is something that I love. Number 3 is what I call TikTokification. It's important, and yes, it is a word. TikTokification, okay? The TikTokification of content, I think, is dying. I think when TikTok came out in 2020, and if we check out this article right here, they were one of the most downloaded apps in all of 2020. They had over 80 million downloads. I mean, it makes sense. When we were confined in our homes, we couldn't do much. What do? We scrolled social media and we found things to give us a dopamine hit. We found things to entertain us, to educate us, learn something new, or be inspired, or be entertained and just laugh, right? I think the TikTokification of content is slowly dying. And what I mean by that is the overly produced, the quick cuts, the what I call the Ferrari and Lamborghini of editing, where it has to be so fast, so chopped, so quick. I think that's losing power, because I think at the end of the day, people are enjoying more content like this. Going back to what I said in number 2, the viewer fatigue. People are getting exhausted seeing stuff like that. They're not wanting to continue watching more content. And I'll challenge you on this, and be mindful of what I'm about to say. If you're making every single video of yours like that, ask yourself, am I exhausting my viewer? Am I giving someone another reason to watch my other content? Or am I giving them a reason to click off? Because what I'll say to you is this, and this is extremely, extremely important. At the end of the day, you get one opportunity sometimes to impress someone. Maybe your video was on their browser, maybe your video was recommended to them on YouTube. That is your one opportunity. And sometimes you only get one shot. Eminem said it best. One shot, one opportunity. Make sure that that piece of content is something that's going to entice the viewer to want to check out the rest of your content to see what else you have to offer. And this comes to understanding who exactly you're speaking to. Maybe you're actually speaking to gamers who like the quick edits, who like the quick stuff to keep it moving. Great. Then make it for them. Or maybe you're speaking to someone just like I'm speaking to you right here, where it's a slower pace. There isn't a lot of stuff to distract you, and I want to just talk to you. So I would challenge you to understand, who are you speaking to? And at the end of the day, would they be inclined to want to watch the rest of your content? Because that's what's also key. Getting them to come into your video is important, but are you giving them enough of a reason to stay? And this leads me to number 4, which is the most important one. And oh, by the way, I do have a bonus one, so stay tuned. Number 4, good content. And that's a greater than sign, which if you understand greater than, that means good content is greater than everything else. So good content is better than overly edited videos. Good content is better than the best editor in the world working on your video. What people care about most, what the algorithm cares about most, at the end of the day, is good content. Not only good content, but great content. Good content, great content, whatever you want to label it as, that will always outperform any tactic, any hack, any strategy, anything to try to game the system of adding more tags to your videos or manipulating the thumbnail or title or whatever. You could have all of that in place. But if the content right here, this video, if this does not deliver, none of that matters. Now we're on to the bonus. This is my favorite one. One of my favorite quotes that I say, I don't know if anyone else has said it. If anyone else has said this, please let me know in the comments below. I don't want to infringe or have any issues. Make your content as short and as clear as it needs to be, but also as long as it needs to be. Meaning, if you can do a good enough job of articulating a message in under 60 seconds, great. If it takes you 90 seconds to do that without losing context, with making it the best possible video you can make it, great. If you need to expand and maybe make a longer YouTube video on it, a 3, 4, 5 minute YouTube video instead of 60 seconds, do that. Do what's best for you. This is the other really important thing that I think a lot of people miss. Do what feels right to you. If making longer form videos is what feels right, and you want to be able to expand and talk just like I am with you, do that. If you feel forced to have to make TikToks and Reels and Shorts and all this to like condense it, then don't. Look at someone like Joe Rogan. Look at his podcast. Look at his longest length podcast. Some of them are 2-3 hours. This is before he was bought out by Spotify. But I would sit and watch those conversations. Mind you, there's no editing. There's only cuts to different camera to him and the guest. But if you look at some of the best content, if you look at something like Impulsive, they have a longer form podcast too. If you look at any podcast like that Mr. Beast was on or any of your favorite YouTuber was on, I'm sure you're just sitting, watching, and listening to them because that's what you care most about. You don't care about all the other B-roll, the text, all the other things in your face. Like, you just want to hear them. You just want to hear what they have to say. And I think what's going to happen with social media is it's going to get flipped on its head. I think a lot of that style of editing is going to go away. I don't think it's going to go away forever, but I think a lot of people are going to start testing out more stuff like this. Just talking, more raw, more real. Because a lot of the TikTokification stuff can seem fabricated, and people want this. People want to connect with you just like this. They want to have another level of barrier, or another barrier of entry to seeing you. Just like I made that mistake right there. People want to see that you're human, that you make mistakes, that it's okay. Yes, it's important to edit things out, make it clear, make it cut, make it precise. Yes, I understand that. There's a time and place for that. But I think I would be doing a disservice if I didn't say that as someone who is a creator and a consumer, the way I view content lately has changed. I care more about this style of content, the longer content, because it's what I like, it's what I enjoy, and it's what I learn the most from and take away, and it's what is memorable to me and what's relatable. Before you leave, all I encourage you to do what feels right. Make your content the best possible video that it could be, whether it's a 30-second video, a 6-second video, a 90-second video, whatever that is. Even on here on YouTube, a longer form video, make it the best piece of content that you possibly can, so that way when you hit publish and you hit post, you are the utmost proud of yourself for creating that piece of content. Lastly, comment down below. Let me know in the comment section. Do you enjoy this style of content? Did you enjoy this specific video? What do you like? Do you like the overly edited videos, or do you like more simple style videos like this? Would love to have a conversation with you in the comments below. Nonetheless, I appreciate you for watching. I will talk to you soon. I'm out.